Hello and welcome to High or Lows, a 5th Ed Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the world of Taraz. I'm Philip Martin, your Dungeon Master, and with me is Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
Next up, we've got Mimbo Wang.
Hey guys.
Middle of the pack tonight is Ash Mireille.
Good morning, show.
And we have Daniel Fletcher.
Ah.
And last up for tonight is Laurie Crawford.
Oh shit, he's a zombie.
So previously on High or Lows, the episode began with a tense standoff in the room where Chuck had been taken and bound. Callum was able to move first and immediately freed Chuck, who made a convincing argument against violence, which paused most aggressive action. Reinforcements came and Tweak fired a warning ray of frost, but otherwise no one made any aggressive moves, and the group made their case for a truce. Tweak barricaded the door with his steel defender and later armed it with some explosives to prevent any potential egress into the room. And throughout this, Baracus became aware of the commotion and attempted to get answers from this side of the river before making his way over to the commotion. Negotiations became more tense when Thistle entered through the room via the chimney in her spider form, but the group was able to convince Eaton Belmont that they weren't their enemies. Eventually, Gregory Belmont showed up, and negotiations were able to advance with 3 criteria met. Firstly, they would test Chuck's zombie theory. Secondly, for some kind of collateral or assurance. And thirdly, for some kind of compensation for the losses that they would experience today in the zombie rampage. An agreement was reached, and the group proceeded to prepare to venture out of the city to experiment and test Chuck's theory. And this is where we'll begin, with the group heading out of town to the old dwarven area to do some experiments.
What happens if the theory doesn't pan out and nothing actually happens to the zombies?
Let's kind of hope that's not the case.
Well, does that put us in the clear as well? Because, I mean, I suppose not. Leaves more questions than answers, I guess.
Let's hope it works out.
Have you done anything similar to these tests before?
No, I mean, obviously not. Like, if I knew that this was going to happen, I'd obviously not use it, right?
I'm going to say, Chuck, you have some experience with testing your abilities, so you have some experience in this sort of thing.
Oh, okay. In like the general sense of testing, not on.
I think with your upbringing and background, like there were testing rooms involved.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of asking the question as well to Ethan and Marjorie if she's present.
Marjorie's not coming; she's staying. She never actually showed up. Just the gnome, lower fine cheek.
Have you done anything similar to these kind of tests? So, what do we? What you know what we can
I've
find?
experiment with my abilities for sure, but nothing like this.
Eaton would say, "No, not really. We're just trying to figure out what's going on here." And Lobar would say, "No, like not really. Like not with this sort of stuff. We don't have too many magicians and whatnot down here."
Well, we're happy to take time out of our schedule to find these questions out.
Look, hopefully we won't have to go too far. This part of the dwarven area is mostly abandoned. We thought about moving out here, but like there's not so many inhabitable spaces. It's not really set up for that, but it's pretty much just abandoned. There's some, there's a few every now and then you'll see some dwarven remains, but it's not too bad.
I take it it's probably being picked out, like all the good stuff.
For the range that you're going, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, as we're walking, I'd probably pull aside the younger son of Gregory, and just like maybe start giving him a few pointers with guard duty, and hey, you should be a bit more aware of your surroundings and stuff like that. And I might even tell him exactly how we got past him.
Well, how did you get past me?
Well, he sent out a distraction. You did well in sending out someone to search it, but you really should have kept your eye on the prize, which was guarding the door.
Well, yeah, but we had to go check that out, and we didn't want to. We did leave someone we were able to keep the door in eye shot for the most part.
Obviously, not close enough. We did manage to sneak by and pick the door itself. Maybe if you had more of a physical lock or barred it in some way, we probably wouldn't have been able to get in.
Maybe, yeah. But we didn't want to bar it because then eaten, it would have been harder for him to get out.
That's true, but you've got to keep your eyes on the surrounding. That's all I've got to say on the matter, really.
But what's your story anyway? Like, how do you even see? How are you able to even fight?
I can't exactly tell you how, but I've somehow developed a bit of a sixth sense, a second set of eyes almost. I can't see far. I can only see up to. I just point to a random rock 20 feet away. I can see about that far, but I see it perfectly.
It's weird. And you're talking to this kid, like, and they're very much a kid. They're about 16, big, strong, well-fed for someone that spent their entire life down here. And they have spent their entire life down here. They were born and they have lived down here. They have never seen the sun. Well, they may, yeah. Well, you don't know if they've seen the sun, but you strive they've spent most of their life in darkness, if not all of their life.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if you ask me any random questions, I'll answer it to the best of my abilities.
He would probably just like ask you a little bit about like the war, and like if you started talking about portals, he would ask you what it was like to see like the portals.
I'd probably tell them what I think of it, and they're quite bloody scary. Like seeing dozens, if not hundreds, of beasts run through them right at you, trying to kill you and your comrades. It's not a sight you want to see.
Yeah.
While we're walking, I'm going to kind of say a bit of abyssal and infernal under my breath and cast shimmering armor of Agathis. Armor of Agathis, yeah.
Yeah, you can do an armor Agathis. That's fine. I think you would know that like people would look at you, especially the people, the ones from Eastern Homestead would sort of be eyeing you off as you speak abyssal and cast your magic. Like their hands tighten just a little bit at their or their hands sort of reach for their weapons. You're in a big group though. There's 15 of you all together. There's sort of 5. There's Lobar and the 4 guards from the western side. There's Eaton, Violet, Elias, Micah, and Dale from the eastern side. And there's the 5 of you. So there's quite a large pack of you. I think there's no...
kind of don't change the stride of my step, and I realize the looks that we'll get, and that's fine.
Yeah, and all of you gather that all of these people are appraising you in different degrees. Some with sort of more degrees of like worship and curiosity. Like there's some more in like evaluative more sense. Like you guys could do an insight check to sort of get an idea of how different people are eyeing you off as you're walking along.
Yeah, might be interesting. 13 for me.
13. Yeah, you're being eyed off pretty heavily by the people on eastern side. The ones from the west are just generally appraising you, but you seem that they don't seem to have as much inherent bias against you, we should say. But even Lobar is keeping an eye on you. It was like when you cast that spell, like it's not that his hand tightened on his weapon or anything, but he did sort of give you an appraising look of like, okay, well, what's that capability then?
I give him a look of like, yep, get used to those.
Whereas you saw all the other, the ones on the east, seemed a little bit more tense. Really not sure what to make of you. You're gonna have to work a bit harder for them. Anyone else?
I rolled a 10, so I might have seen what the kid I was talking to did, but other than that, not much, I'd say.
Yeah, so you would have noticed them tensioning up as like abyssal was spoken.
I don't care.
Fair. What are you doing as you're traveling along, Tweak?
I'm chatting to Giznat.
Just like low, like mumbling to yourself, sort of thing.
Pretty much. Doing equations in my head on how to build this machine I've got in my mind.
Oddly enough, I would say you're getting looks of curiosity. Lobar is probably appraising you a little bit. But like they don't. No one seems that surprised by you. I don't know. For some reason, they're not that surprised by how you're acting. How are you traveling, Thistle?
I'm staying at the back of the group. Just thinking, well, if I see anything lying around along the way, this in regards to any items that I need for my magic, just collect type of thing. So
Picking mushrooms.
yeah, and whatever else is around.
Really, it's just like crumbling stone, bits of rotting wood, every now and then maybe some rotting canvas. You can give me a perception check as you're going through, though.
That's 18.
18. Yeah, you're not noticing anything. You are noticing that you seem to be heading into a place where there's lots of burial areas, like essentially resting areas to your sides. I mean, everyone is really noticing this, to be fair, but you're noticing that most of them are picked. You're looking around, most of them are picked clean, opened, and scavenged. You don't really notice anything beyond like the odd loose sort of bit of bone here and there.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. I'm just staying at the back. I mean, I don't want all these people around. I don't want all these people here. I just want my party to get their shit together and let's get through the town quickly and move on.
Yeah, but if you wanted to pick up crumbling stone, some bones,
Yeah.
rotting clothes, like you'd be able to get some of that.
I thought it doesn't have to collect a bit of everything because it could come in handy one day.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can add some of those things if you just
Thank
put
you.
that in your pack.
Yeah.
We'll get heavy, but you're pretty strong, so it should be okay.
Yeah.
You make your way through. It doesn't. You're not going too far. It takes you. You go about. What's a quarter of a mile in feet? I don't know. It's probably like 1,000 feet or something like that. So yeah, you go for a little while, and it's obvious that this is basically a catacombs area where there's bodies. But it's obvious where there was once bodies, but it's been picked pretty clean, and you don't notice anything moving around. And it's explained to you that eventually, if you go through this area to the other side, it just becomes more dwarven ruins. But they're sort of that side of the dwarven ruins is actually guarded by like kobolds, and that's where it becomes dangerous. But the kobolds don't really enter the catacombs because it's too tight in here. And the kobolds, that's not the main kobolds area. They're just sort of keeping an eye on it when it opens up.
I wonder if this links back up to where Candle was talking about the kobolds. Yeah.
Kendall spends his time mostly in this area, in that area. He sort of knows how to avoid the kobolds for the most part. Like I think he's a lot faster than him, sneaky as well.
Yeah, that's exactly how we met him. Him sneaking behind us and giving us warning not to go further.
I think he's got some areas there where he's sort of able to camp out and got his own setup. He doesn't necessarily come back to town. Sometimes he's gone for weeks at a time. Yeah, I don't know if I can fully trust him, to be honest. Like, why doesn't he live in town? But he's earned his trust for other people, so...
He could be a spy for Oasis.
If he was a spy for Oasis, I don't think we'd be alive.
Well, that's the thing about spies, gaining a trust, getting information. He's got maps.
Look, you joke about it, but I'm pretty sure that we do have spies somewhere. Someone seems like things are going so badly for us recently. If it's true that we've actually lost Orion, then we might be in serious trouble. Unless we can trust you, and you can help us.
Can't trust anyone.
But if we lost Orion and his group, like, then it sounds like Oasis are trying to make their final move, and they're getting ready to make a move. And I'm sure we do have spies here, because they seem to know our moves before we know them.
Sounds all the better to get this over and done with and move on, so then we can concentrate on taking them down.
I agree. So let's do that and get this done.
I mean, why don't you have spies in their camp?
It's been discussed, but from what we what limited things we do know is that they're cannibals and they make you eat the flesh of humans.
Yeah, and
And no one wants to do that.
it's a price you pay for information. I've done much worse to keep myself alive.
I would do it. You hear from Violet, funnily enough. But they didn't want me to go do it. And Eaton says, Violet, you don't really want to do it. You say you'll do it, but I don't think you really want to do it. And Violet just sort of scoffs.
They could be onto something. Could be really tasty for all I know. You never know unless you give it a try, is what my mum used to tell me.
We've found other ways to survive down here. We've managed to cultivate the land into something. And the dwarves gave us a head start, and it was rough. When I was a kid down here, we lost a lot of people. But as Orion was able to get more people to us, we built something. But then, once Oasis started doing something darker, we just don't want to lose what we have.
But don't they have farming, or you don't know? They don't have farming or some agriculture, and wouldn't it be best if they trade with you? I don't understand all the hostilities. Their raiding parties don't seem to be getting much for yield.
Well, we haven't had new people here for some time. We suspect that's because of their doing.
From our knowledge of the Upworld, how often were they sending criminals down?
Every week, people would go down.
And you're talking like 3 to 5 or like 10 or...
Generally at least half a dozen, so like 5 or 6.
I mean, 5 or 6 people would feed a few people. Like, that's a fair bit of meat.
Someone give me a nature check. Anyone that wants to.
I will give you a nature check. 17.
It occurs to you that since Oasis has an alliance with spiders, the spiders would also be eating this meat. So there might be a way where the spiders are eating some of it and the the humanoids are eating some of it.
Just tracking the scraps to the spiders to clean up, like pets.
Well, you know that spiders tend to liquefy the internal organs of a thing and then suck the goo out, leaving husk.
Do you think they're making like some thick shake smoothies down there with the newcomers?
Well, I'm thinking of like it's like a boba drink. You stab the straw in and suck.
Well, that's what spiders do, man. Look it up.
Oh no, yeah, you're definitely true on that.
No, the Oasis people. So they wait for the spiders to liquefy their insides, and then they come along and drain them through the nose,
and then perhaps they're purifying the meat somehow and eating the remainders, or eating the bone meal.
It's all possible with the magics that people have. We don't know what they have on their side. They could have clerics and all that type of stuff.
I mean, I can purify food and drink.
True.
Came in very handy, let me tell you.
Sure it would.
Well, we really don't know that much about what's going on at Oasis. It's mostly hearsay, and what we've been able to tell from encounters in the mushroom forest. We have had a couple of people that have managed to escape some of the way, but they didn't make it all the way back to Homestead. But we did have people run into them. But it's mostly just hearsay. And like you say, we don't know for sure, but we probably do have a spy somewhere. Oasis, like Homestead's pretty big. There probably is some weirdo that's trying to work against us.
Well, you can always figure out who you suspect that is later once we've proven ourselves.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear, like you guys should be trusted, but this will help you with the other side, but they'll need a little bit more work.
How much will it help? Are we going to keep being questioned?
We'll see.
Majority, or will this go a ways?
I think we'll just have to see. Really? I think this is probably far enough. And you guys have been led into an area, and you have just turned right and gone through like some smaller rooms and opened up into like a bigger room. Does seem to be like this room seems to like once probably had a little bit of a ceremonial purpose to it, but at this point is in pretty bad disrepair. But it's been obviously ransacked several times as well. Picked clean.
Cool. So I'm guessing we move the zombies towards like one end of the room, and then we all get in a defensive line, or how are we going to do this?
I don't know. I don't know. They all sort of shrug and look at Chuck. How should we do this?
I will ask: is there anything in the room like that? Is there things that you could stack up and put in front of these zombies? We just need to get into the zombie.
High or lows?
Yeah, highs.
Yeah, sure. There's some broken like long stone benches that were once probably used for sitting, but like pews. They're all broken and shattered, but there are some big enough chunks that you could set up some sort of barricade. You do have these two chained up zombies as well. They're manacled manacled hands and feet, and like bound with like a chain around their neck.
Come on, man. Make yourself useful. I think put some of these heavier items in front of these zombies before we start this test.
Yep, that makes sense. Chuck, does this seem all right to you? Is this going to work?
I think we should ready our actions.
Yep, that's fair.
I'll give people advantage in initiative, but like, yeah, like combat. You can't really ready actions outside of combat with D&D.
Fine.
But yeah, so you've got these two zombies that are chained, manacled. How would you like to position? This room is fairly big, but not huge. It's probably about 50 feet wide, 50 feet across.
Standard formation, casters at back, marshals at front.
Makes sense. And if you can, try and do non-lethal damage, of course.
To the zombies?
Yes, we're not trying to kill them, we're just trying to subdue them if they go crazy.
Zombies come back up unless it's like radiant damage, right?
Radiant damage or crits.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a
Right.
guaranteed get up to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subdual damage, I guess. Guess that kind of eliminates spells, though.
Yeah.
I guess we want to discover how we can actually stop them from going insane.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. Like, if you can figure something out with your powers, Chuck, maybe you can trigger this and turn it off when you want to.
Maybe we should tie the zombies down.
Well, they are manacled and chained, so we might be. Is there any way where you could hook the chains just to kind of so they've got a limit of how far they can reach?
You could put a bunch, just pile up some stones on the chains or something like that. I don't think. Well, let's see, high or lows.
Lows.
Fuck it, there are a couple of hooks.
Perfect.
Okay, full on pinhead in this place.
Yeah. Well, let's hook the chains on them, and we can hopefully experiment as much as we can.
I think as long as we can, all those manacles will hold, or nothing else comes and hinders us, we don't really have any reason to attack. We should just let Chuck run down the list of his investigations.
Makes sense. Well, let's just be on the defensive just in case.
Yes.
Yeah, you like sort of you have the other people in the room are stationed around. Some of the people are outside of the room, just sort of keeping watch the way you came. But you've been told this area should be fairly safe. You shouldn't really expect any trouble. So, what would you like to do, Chuck?
Is the guy that we spoke to his dad here?
His dad is not. He is here, as is Lobar. Violet, and Elias, would Elias would be here. Violet would actually be out with the younger brothers and Dale.
Sure. I will reach into his mind and say hi.
The zombie or Eden?
Eden.
Yeah, as you do that, you notice that the zombies become, start to become violent, enraged, and start to become move with activity. They seem to be attracted towards you specifically.
So I'm going to move away from Eden, but I'm going to still keep talking to him. Are they still enraged at me?
Yes. How are you moving, and like, are you moving closer to them, or like how are you moving in comparison to him and the
So
zombies?
I'm going to make him move away from me, like, because we can see how the zombies are moving, right? So if he stands on the right and I stand on the left of the room, then it should be clear who the zombies are trying to attack, right?
And we all kind of split off to that one side as well. You reckon, Mimbo?
Yes.
Yeah, but there is also like general proximity to the zombies as well.
The same distance, equidistant.
Equidistant from the zombies,
Yes.
they seem to be attracted to you.
Okay.
Can you use your mind to the zombies? Can you attempt to communicate to them? See if you can control them.
Seems risky, but sure, I'll try that. I attempt to establish a telepathic link to the zombies, or one of the zombies.
You make a link, and you just hear, just like nonsensical but anger.
Are
Tell
they
him
still angry at me?
They seem to be.
communicate good, peaceful thoughts.
Yeah, I'll try to like think happy thoughts.
You're just trying to think happy thoughts.
Yeah,
Are you still talking to the zombie with?
telepathic. Yeah.
So what are you saying?
Do I have to say a word? Like I can think about, like I can.
Well, what are you thinking about? What words are you thinking to the zombie? What happy words? Just give me a couple of examples.
That's a good question.
Tell them you love them and that they're your children.
Think of my sister and my family.
Okay. How do you feel about your sister?
Yeah, I love my sister.
Yeah. How do you feel about your parents? Your noble
Definitely.
father?
My bond is nothing is more important than other members of my family.
Yeah. No, they were a bit harsh on you, and they sent you away as a child to go contribute to the effort.
To the cause of the war efforts.
Yeah. Yeah, they were quite proud that you displayed some of these abilities.
Mm.
Yeah, they seem angry. The zombies still seem angry.
Okay.
Their chains seem to be holding. They don't seem to be getting out or anything.
And then I turn to the guy and like, well, does that satisfy you?
Does seem to be a help. So what are you doing exactly? I see that you can talk to my brain. So I believe that you have some sort of ability now, unless I'm going crazy.
Well, I think it's just the use of the ability is sufficient to trigger a response in the zombies.
Right. So basically you can't do that in or around Homestead ever.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
What about your other magics? Because I know you got a whole bunch of those mind affecting ones.
I do, but like I also don't have a target for them. Unless you are volunteering to get mind slivered.
I mean, we have the two zombies, but we don't really want them to die. They can take a bit of a pounding.
I'll get mine slithered.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go for it. It'd be a good experience.
It definitely isn't.
Have you still got your link up, or have you broken it?
I've broken the link.
Okay. Give me a perception check, everyone. As you're like eyeing off the zombies after the link is broken and considering mind links and stuff.
15 here.
Anyone else?
Natural 20 with a 21.
Okay.
12.
Baracus, Chuck.
Oh, it was a 3 for me.
Yeah, I rolled a 4. There's nothing there.
Okay, everyone is oblivious to like this. I would say like Callum, you would notice that the zombies are starting to sort of get a little bit calmer. Tweak, you're sort of got a little bit more analytical mind. Yeah, the zombies are definitely calmer now. The link has been broken. Like they're still a bit enraged, but they seem to be sort of slowing down and just like calming down a little bit. You do from a room that you guys didn't come from. You do hear. Sounds like something big is coming toward. Like it's not huge, but like something is like bumping around, a little bit. Like I don't know. It's like it's muffled, but like something just sounds like something's definitely moving around.
This is like a bit further down the hallway we were traveling down.
Yeah, you didn't come from this way though. It's like further down.
I'm going to throw a thaumaturgy down that hall as far as I can, 30 feet.
Well, you don't know about anything coming.
Oh, that's true. No, you just...
Only Tweak that heard something.
There's something coming down there, I think. Sounds big too.
Shit, we should warn the guys outside.
Well, I'm
Should
not
we
doing
do?
anything. I might go check it out.
It sounds really big.
I think we should maybe get ready to be on the defensive.
And that's when I'll kind of throw a thaumaturgy down of a large troop. Just a kind of a noise of lots of feet, lots of soldiers moving.
I'm going to pull my telekinetic hand out, my mage hand, and wave that in the zombie's face. And give him the bird. Does that enrage him again?
So say that again. Just I want to know exactly what you just said.
I want to wave the mage hand in the zombie's face and then flip him off.
It doesn't seem to have any effect.
I psychically think about a bird.
Yeah, that seems to kick them off again.
I'm also testing the school as well because I'm familiar with Mindsliver and what school that is, and if that's setting it off. And thaumaturgy is transmutation, completely different school. See if that kind of gets a result as well.
There are other things to consider outside of schools as well, but yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Just
While
testing.
they're doing that, I'll just make sure the others outside know that there might be something coming.
Yeah, they take it. All right, we'll get ready. Make sure we're ready if we need to move.
I mean, it sounds really big.
Thistle, do you go out there, Thistle?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so you go out there. Does anyone go with her?
Well, how far are you going?
Well, there's noise and there's something of a hefty size. So I'm going to try and get as close as I can.
Well, don't do anything too stupid. I'm going to stay with the rest of the party.
Okay, give me a perception check as you go into the next room. Try to investigate this noise.
17.
Cool, and you can see in the dark?
With a light, yes.
Cool, as you go
Unless-
into... Sorry?
Unless I watch out.
Yeah, so you have light.
Mm.
Okay, you have a light up as you go into this next room, which is smaller than this big ceremonial room. Seems like where people would have been congregated. This seems more like a side room, more of a display room. And coming from another room just off to the side, squeezing through like a small thing, you see a rotting orb of flesh, with a giant eye looking at you, and I want you to roll me a history check.
Okay, history. 11?
11. High or lows?
Highs.
Screw it. Yeah, with 11. You have a flash. You can't remember the name of this creature, but you have this flash to your memory of this creature flying around with eye stalks that would shoot rays out of its eyes, and the eyes could do different things. This one seems to be a zombie, but the flash that you have one was very much not a zombie and was a thing of pure death incarnate.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna slowly back away.
Yeah, we'll roll initiative, eh?
Really, Phil?
Really? Yeah, you got help. There's like 15 of you. This one is much slower and like rotting than the one that the flash in her mind.
16 for me.
7, yeah.
18.
I'm frozen, so 4.
6.
Cool. So, Thistle,
Mm-hmm.
you're up first. You can start. You see this thing sort of looking in your direction at the light and sort of just being like.
So I'm thinking, crap, but can I shillelagh my quarterstaff and hold an action?
Could. So how far away do you want to get from this thing? At the moment, it's probably about 40 feet away from you. Like you came into this room to have a look around, and as you look to your left, you see this thing squeezing through. It's coming out of a thing. It's way too small for it. What it's coming through.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna slowly start backing away, so I'm just out of eyesight.
Yeah, it definitely was watching you as you did that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you want to hold an action to hit it with Shillelagh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's totally doable. This would mean that she's basically just in this doorway, which it goes off to this next room.
So I might just be like 10 feet, 20 feet down the hall?
Yeah, 20 feet away probably is fine. 10, 20 feet, yeah. Yeah, so you probably, and then she'd be about 10 feet through like a little hallway or something. So you're probably about 20 to 30 feet away. Cool. Brackus, you can be about the same places.
Alrighty. What did Callum do?
Oh, it wasn't my turn yet. I was just seeing how far down
okay.
she was.
He's just getting a mind's eye of where he was in relation to this everything else.
I am going to be kind of. Am I aware of what's going on in that other room?
No, Thistle didn't say anything. Thistle just you saw Thistle enter a room and then back out.
So I guess I'm holding my turn.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mentioned that it was something big.
Actually, you know what? I do know a rumbling's coming, and I would be dodging, and I'm gonna use there's that lots of things lying around. I'm gonna kind of just shoulder up to one of those. I'm going to dodge.
Yeah, you can take half cover behind something and dodge, absolutely. Cool. It is its turn. This orb of rotting flesh pops out with a squelchy pop and is flying in this room, is hovering, slowly hovering, and it sort of gets to the middle of the room, looking towards Thistle, and sees Thistle. And Thistle, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 23.
You feel a ray of yellow light blast you, but it doesn't do any damage, and you feel the inclination of fear, but you do not. You resist the effects. You do resist the effects, I should say.
Okay, not too easy.
And yeah, so that is its turn. It is hovering in the middle of the room. I think at this point, everyone can sort of see it now as well. I will let. That'll be on their turn. Talon, you wouldn't be able to see it because of the proximity, but you heard something. Probably
Yeah.
heard, like, some magical.
Yeah, so I'll probably start approaching. I could probably get to a point that I can see it.
Yeah. How much movement have you got? 35?
Just 30.
30? Yeah, I would say just you'd be able to see it, but you wouldn't be in melee range of it.
Yeah, that's all right. But I might, because I mean I know I can't get close enough to take a strike. I'll at least put myself in between it or put myself next to Thistle, and kind of have my shield up defensively.
Yeah, that's cool. And any action?
I mean, I would have had to use an action to dash. I'd assume.
I don't think so.
Okay. If there's not much I really have in terms of action. I'll just take a dodge action. It's always
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's cool. Tweak.
So I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. So it just popped into the next room.
Well, I am gonna shoot a crossbow bolt right at its big ginormous eye.
Go for it. I'm gonna say it has half cover as you're trying to shoot through like a small hallway where Thistle and Callum are.
9.
That will miss. I'm not gonna make it hit anyone. It just hits the wall near them.
And I will take about 5 to 6 steps backwards and get my steel defender. Boa, advance and back up Thistle.
Yep, it can go do that and go join the other ones. If it dashes, it can get all the way up to it, or it could you just go and get near other people.
Can it get to Thistle?
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
dashing?
Yeah, it gets this all without dashing, and then it can just dodge.
Yep, it'll go to Thistle and take the dodge. Or actually, he can defend Thistle.
That's a reaction, so it can do both.
Oh, sure. Yeah, dodge.
Chuck.
Yes, I will try to mind sliver it.
Okay. It fails.
Okay, so firstly, it loses 4 to its save for the next save that it makes,
Yep.
and it takes 6 damage.
6 damage, 4 to
Wow.
the save. Good.
That's a really good roll.
It's like max effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll for most max on both. That's nice. Cool. As you do that, the two zombies break free and charge at you. They are manacled, so these attacks are going to be at disadvantage, but they do try to slam into you. And that's probably going to miss. It's like a 14.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah, so they both miss, but they do try to charge on you. As they basically both rolled 17 on their like strength checks to just break out. And so they tried to charge you, and they are currently on you, but not not doing anything else. At this point, some of the other people, they sort of come and try to engage and start grappling those and try to tie them down and say, go deal with that big thing. We've got these.
Yeah. Just so you know, I burnt a spell slot for shield.
Okay, you did burn a shield. Cool. Not cool for you, I suppose, but good for me. Thistle, what would you like to do?
All right. Firstly, I want to start off my Halo Spores reaction.
Yeah, what save is that? Con, right?
Yes.
I got a 9, so it's probably a fail. What kind of damage is it?
1d4 necrotic damage.
Okay, roll the damage.
3.
Cool. It doesn't seem to like that.
Good. And then I'm going to try to take a swing at it.
Yeah, so you have to move to engage. You'll leave the safety of the steel defender and... Yep, but yeah, you can do that.
Well, she'd have to be within 10 feet to do the spore thing anyway.
Yeah, it's probably about 20 feet away from you, to be fair. But that's okay, we'll fudge it.
Oh, alright. Sorry.
This will probably be a reaction on its turn. We'll just say that was the reaction on its turn.
21 to hit.
That hits. So you got your shillelagh. You smack with your shillelagh.
Yep. And I get altogether 6 damage.
6 damage. Cool. 6 damage as you smack it with your shillelagh. Now that's all good. Yeah. Eaton Belmont sort of barks some orders to get those zombies under control, and he's not going to join the fray this fight, but you sense that once those zombies are under control, we'll be able to back you up. So now it's Baracus.
Yeah, so moving towards cover as I did last round, did I kind of move it closer such that I can get to this monstrous eyed thing in the next room?
The way I interpreted your movement to cover, you were sort of waiting for it to enter the room. You could have taken cover by like the doorway and just by the. That would have made sense. Somewhere to take cover. So if that's the case, then yeah, you'd be able to just squeeze and get to it.
Oh, that's good. I will kind of move towards it as soon as I clock this thing. I'll bonus action and hex it.
Yep, you can do that.
And go and take a mighty swing. Mighty it is not. 8.
8 does miss.
Bonus and action. Yeah, good. Taken.
Yeah. Cool. So at this point in time, it is.
I am going to do one thing though. Sorry. I will. Oh, So I'm looking at this thing. It's covered in eyes, isn't it?
It's got eye stalks and one big eye.
Eye stalks and one big eye. I'm gonna close my eyes. So I have learned to fight this way.
Okay, yeah, you can if you're in range. You can still see it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but just trying it out.
All right, so it is now its turn, and yeah, fuck it. There's the two of you are right in front of it, so it's just gonna pick one of you. It goes for Thistle, again.
Yeah, that was yours.
We'll say that you weren't in range before, so the rolls from before.
Okay.
will apply.
Oh, yeah, cool.
It tries to do. He tries to blast you with yellow again, just like blur. Give me a wisdom save.
Okay. 19.
You you shrug this off, and do not feel the effects. Cool. That was his turn. Doesn't move away from you, just sort of stays there, sort of slowly rotating around like an idiot. Yeah, you see like the Captain Lobar is sort of barking orders and moving in to sort of restrain these zombies. And once let me just go. Yeah, Lobar successfully restrains one of the zombies. Actually, how did Eden do? So did Eden. So Eden is basically is just covering one of the zombies, and Lobar went low on another one and just took it to the ground, and they're proceeding to tie them to get those chains sorted with some help from the others. Callum.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just try and position myself. Everyone, like, are you on a different side to where Thistle is? Ash?
He wouldn't be where he'd be the same side.
Okay, then I'll try.
I didn't know because I didn't roll with advantage, correct?
Yeah.
You didn't have enough distance, and Thistle didn't think about it.
Yeah. So I'll probably try and stand next to, if I can, both. If I can't, whoever's not next to the Steel Defender, or will be, because it sounds like
you get to pick who you're next to.
Probably Baracus, I'd say, because Tweak sounded like he was sending Steel Defender after Thistle.
Yeah, or you can choose to flank.
I'll let them move into flank if they need to.
Okay.
And then I'll give it an attack. 14, so that would be 20.
Yeah, it hits.
7 damage total. And damn it, I forgot to do Horizon Walker shit. If I can do a bonus action that affects that would be all okay, or?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry. Been a couple days since last combat. So I'll activate Planar Warrior on that attack, and that'll just do an extra D8 force damage. So another 2 on top of that, and it makes it all force damage.
Yeah, I will allow the damage. Cool.
Thanks. That's me then.
Tweak.
Okay, well, I am going to make my way a bit closer, I guess, to get a better position on the this creature.
Sure.
And can I see him better now?
Yeah, you have to get all the way into the room to not have half cover behind people. So you're gonna have to deal with that. But if you tried, next round, if you wanted to go all the way into the room, you could get a clear shot. But otherwise, it's still gonna be at half cover.
All right, well, I'll take the shot at half cover.
But it will be much safer because this thing's much more likely to go. It doesn't seem very smart. Seems like it's just blasting
I got
close stuff.
23 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And 7 damage.
7 damage. 7
And my-
frosty little damage.
It's my crossbow.
Oh, it's crossbow. Cool. Sorry, I thought you ran across. That's cool.
And I will get my Steel Defender to attack.
Yep. Roll the hit. And tell me where who it's going next to. So at the moment, you basically see Thistle, Baracus, Callum in a line attacking this thing.
And they're all in. Are they surrounding the thing?
Not really. They're all in a line right now.
Well, he's going to move in, I guess.
You can either move to behind it to flank and get advantage on the hit, or you can move next to someone.
Yeah, he'll get advantage of the hit.
Cool. Then you just won't have your reaction, but you get advantage.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to defend against those eye rays.
It's a valid point.
Um,
This thing does have a big mouth that does look like it would hurt a bit, but it doesn't seem to be biting.
14 to hit.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
Chuck, you're up.
I will.
Oh, hang on, I had advantage on that attack, didn't I?
You did because you flanked. You chose to flank.
What does it look like now? Are the zombies still angry at me?
They've been tackled by Eaton and Lobar, and they're not a threat to you anymore. And they've been tackled and dragged away from you, so you can now. And you were told to not worry about them.
Sure. Then I'll just mind sliver the guy again. If I'm not worried about it any.
What's your DC?
What's my DC?
I don't think there's any point in me rolling, and I just rolled really low, so I think it got a -5 on its intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't make it.
No, I don't think. No, there's nothing that -5 would pass against.
Oh, I think your DC's minimum is like 8, right?
Generally, yeah. I mean, you could have a negative modifier if you had a negative spell like ability.
And also, you took the -4 into account, right?
I did. That's why I got a -5.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to take a -3 to the next one.
Cool. And how much damage?
6 again.
Cool. Another big roll from Mr. Mindsilver. And what are you doing as far as movement and visibility?
I'm gonna move away from the zombies.
Cool. And so you can't see the okay. So you can't see the big thing.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thistle.
Like I put my head around.
Yeah. So I mean, you can be and you tend to fight very safely. Thistle.
I'm going to try and hit it again with my quarterstaff.
Sure.
That's a 15 hit.
It does.
Sweet. And that's 3 damage.
3 damage.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not 6?
3 plus 9.
+9.
What?
Too much.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
It'd be plus your wisdom modifier. So it'd be D8 plus your wisdom modifier.
If you're rolling with strength, you've got like +1 strength. So I think you've got +3 wisdom. So just add 2 damage.
Plus 4 wisdom. Oh, okay.
So it'd be so 6.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can roll with your wisdom modifier when you're doing shillelagh, so you might be.
Oh, that's what I did. That's what I fixed up. Sorry, I'll get that readjusted.
Cool. Yeah, Eaton just finishes wrapping up and getting these beholders, these zombies under control with the other guards, and then starts moving towards the beholder zombie. So next time it will help. Arrakis.
I will move over to close the flank.
Yep, you can achieve this. You got basically this thing surroundable or surround close to it.
Yep. There's a 15 here.
Just
Okay.
you strike, and like this thing is so rotted that like the flesh, some of the flesh, you just is that you can tell wouldn't even matter to cut it off.
And
12 damage. Is that including necrotic?
correct, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The necrotic was for itself, and 2 of that was fire.
Okay, Baracus. Give me a Constitution saving throw. With this black ray of dark energy comes to you.
How does a 14 suit?
You feel this ray trying to sap your life energy out, and it hurts, but you feel like you just resisted the worst of it. So you only take 14 necrotic damage.
14 necrotic, okay, and I'm going to use a reaction to Hellish Rebuke.
Sure. It gets a it's an 11. So because of Chuck's penalty.
Great, so that's a fail then. And
Yeah.
I'll roll the dice. Oh, new dice.
And don't forget Armor of Agathis.
Yes, the Armor of Agathis would have worked. It would have taken away those hit temporary points first. But how much fire damage do you do?
11 fire damage.
11?
11 fire damage. And I'll
Cool.
arm myself, I guess.
It seems to just when you do that, and doesn't seem to do any particular extra, but it does not like it. Lobar also moves into position. He's a little bit shorter with his little gnome legs, but he looks ready to rumble on this thing. Callum.
So I'm assuming we're all in flank essentially now.
Yes.
Cool. So I will.
And you're next to this.
So this guy looks like he'll just take a few more rounds still, really.
Yeah. Like, yeah, probably only 2 more rounds at this pace.
Okay. I think I still will favorite foe him.
It's towards the end of the day, so you may as well use any things.
Yeah, I mean I haven't had spell slots for ages. And I'll take a swing at him now. Sorry, just looking this up. I don't think I hit.
If you don't hit, you don't actually use a favorite foe because that triggers on hit.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, 14.
14 just misses. Okay, Tweak.
Okay, I am going to advance so I can get a clear shot on him this time.
Sure.
And I will take a light bow, crossbow shot to the face.
Yeah, it's very much surrounded. Well, not fully surrounded, but like it can't go anywhere except for up to get away from things. It's got people on all sides.
16?
16 hits. Would have missed with half cover though.
12 piercing damage.
Well, piercing, nice. With your magically enhanced crossbow.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to attack it now with the Steel Defender.
Yeah.
16 attack. I get advantage on it still.
Yeah, it's still defender, yes.
Alright, I'll roll again because I got a crit. 19 to hit.
Hits.
And 8 damage.
8 more force damage. Yeah, this thing's looking hurt, but like it's still probably going to get off 1 more shot unless you guys get real lucky before its turn. Chuck.
Yes. You know what to do.
So yes, the zombies continue to get riled up, but they're subdued by basically a whole bunch of guards and Elias Morales. But it does fail the in save.
It takes a -4 to the next one.
And how much damage?
5.
5 damage.
So the zombies seem to be getting riled up each mind sliver.
Yes.
Okay.
But like, there's enough people on them that they're just sort of smothered and subdued and getting like the chained up stuff.
No, good to know.
Yeah. Thistle.
Try and hit it again.
Cool.
18,
That hits.
and that's 10 damage.
Nice. 10 damage. You whack it real hard. And send it sort of spinning and continuing. Like it's now rotating even faster.
Well, awesome.
Cool. Eaton Belmont comes and tries to join the fray with and tries to jab it with a spear. Hits it twice. And like he looks like he really knows how to handle that spear as he jams it real hard into this thing's eye. And it looks like it's ready to go down with that as we go to Baracus.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's gonna hit over 15 and
Yep, 15 is the AC.
another 12.
12?
Yep.
With only 12, it has the chance to do one last thing, unless it rolls really good on its saves. Who's it going to go for, though? It goes for Baracus again. And I need a wisdom saving throw.
You can have. Ooh, you'll get this one. Wisdom, you say?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fail.
You are frightened for a minute.
Sure, yeah.
Did you roll that bad, Ash?
Yeah, I rolled. A 7.
Shouldn't matter, I don't think. You'll probably be freaked out, but yeah. You start freaking out.
Yeah.
Lobar goes up and sees that things seems almost dead, and actually goes up to you, Callum, and says, "Want to do the honors?"
Sure.
And Callum, you're up.
Fine.
He's ready. Like Lobar looks ready to do a meaningful strike if he has to.
Well, if I fuck it up, go for it. And I'll do Planar Warrior and give it a shot. Okay, I shouldn't miss with a 19.
Nope.
Not that much damage, but it would be at least 8.
At least 8, or how much?
Oh yeah, 8. Like,
yeah. How do you want to do it?
oh nice. Well, probably go straight for the eye and stick the sword straight in the eye, and a little bit of force damage kind of might radiate out, and eyeball explodes everywhere.
Yeah, to be fair, it's already been jabbed with a spear, and so there is like a welt in the eye. Do you just try to dig into that and twist?
Yeah, sure. It has to have a brain somewhere.
Dig in that and twist and wriggle around, and just with a little, it just sort of falls to the ground and just sort of plops and just sort of starts melting into the ground. She goes, "Well, I didn't expect that to show up."
I mean, it's good we found that before someone else exploring did.
Well, I don't know what got it all riled up, where it came from. Maybe it was some kind of trophy or something.
We're not out of danger yet, and I'm just gonna like bow my head and do a divine sense. Let me just see.
You don't sense any more undead other than the 2 zombies at your rear that are under control.
You may now celebrate.
Yeah, you suspect that this thing was like must have been something that the dwarves had lying around, and maybe it became zombified somehow recently, or I don't know, maybe it was just mist. It's pretty big to just be floating around, but you're not 100% sure where this thing came from. But you don't know this area at all. You just know what you've heard.
Maybe be careful with who you send down this way, but once things are settled with Oasis, maybe this is somewhere we can kind of look around for you.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I suppose for now we should probably get out of here. I think the testing's a success, and we can head back to town.
Yeah, I think we've learned that, Chuck, you're completely useless in a fight if they come on us in a base.
Oh, I'm sure he's got other magics that aren't just head explodey.
He also sets things on fire.
Who says this?
No one said that. That Phil said that
Oh, Phil said that. Because you did it in that voice.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was towards that voice, but not fully committed to it.
Yes, probably.
It's hard when you're doing 2 to 3 voices at once.
No, true. Yeah, I've got more magics than just head magics. I've
Really?
also got ASMR magic.
You didn't test that.
That is true.
I'm going to test it now, see what you can actually do.
What other magic would you like to test on the zombies before you head off?
I'm going to use my ASMR light ability and see if that...
Nah, they don't seem to care.
I don't think I've got anything else. It's got just ASMR magic and...
Firebolts and stuff, right?
I skin that as ASMR magic.
What about? Do you have calm emotions?
I do.
Because I mean that might be a head fucky one, but it also is meant to not do that.
Yeah, but it doesn't work on undead.
Oh, you're right. It's
Yeah.
just humanoids.
Twist.
Should we try it on the undead?
Yeah, maybe. That's up to you, I suppose.
Yeah, why not? I'll test it.
So how are you testing it?
I'm gonna cast it on them.
Oh, but rile them up first.
Yeah, so I'm gonna psychically connect to them, rile them up, and then I'm gonna cast calm emotions on them.
So, because the spell specifically says humanoids, but
It does.
I like it for these guys. Funnily enough, it calms them down.
Oh wow, that's useful.
You're not sure. Give me an Arcana check.
Give you an Arcana check. Okay. This should be interesting. Ooh, that's bad. Does anyone else want to do an Arcana check?
I'll do an Arcana check, witnessing this if Phil allows.
Yeah, that's fine.
I only get a 9.
Yeah, you're not sure why it's working. You don't think it should.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't.
What do you got? Fletch?
15?
15. You're not sure if this would work on zombies all the time. Maybe it's just because they've been riled up by this specific effect, or maybe it would. You're really not sure. You need more testing.
Also, they are spore zombies, right? So it might only work on this type of zombie.
Yeah, and they seem to have something to. There seems to be something in common that they have with Thistle, but you're not sure what that might be either. But any more testing you guys want to do? We might as well wrap up the testing before you guys head back to Homestead.
No, I think that's it for me.
I don't have much magics that'll do anything. You got anything that might work, Thistle? I don't know if your spore stuff might be useful to try.
Yeah, I can activate a symbiotic entity or something so they can see it. It's nothing special though.
Okay, so what are you doing exactly? You go up to the zombies. They're now restrained again.
All right, and then I think about the magic behind the symbiotic entity, and then it projects from my body.
Okay. High or lows?
Highs?
69. 69 wins whether it's high or lows. So as you do this and you're looking at the zombies, you feel a connection. Something sort of almost like the spores sort of feeling like a line of connection between you and the zombies. But then you feel a connection drawn away and you feel like you're tapping into some sort of mycelial network. mushroom network, basically. And you can feel like something feels almost alien, say, and it just says to you, huh, this is new. And I think that's where we'll end this episode.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Cliffhangers.
I hate cliffhangers.
You don't feel like you're able to communicate, and you don't really feel like you feel like it could communicate with you, but you can't communicate with it, and only when you're sort of close to this.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, we'll end this episode here, and we'll catch you next time.
Giddy up.
That's it for this episode of the High or Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at High or Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Feepster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server, and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.